One Piece chapter 1123. I've been waiting so long for this chapter. I'm ready to get straight into it, so let's do just that. Cover art for this week is the return of the only child Yamato in the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 11. Enemies forced to share Odin. Now what we see is Denjiro, we see Yamato surrounded, sharing Odin with the kids that was just throwing rocks and dirt balls at her. I wouldn't say last week because, you know, we had a few chapters where it wasn't a continuation of this here cover story. I wonder if there's a reason for that. You know, I honestly feel like there's some kind of benevolent, I don't even know if that's the right word, like double layered reason behind everything that Oda does. So I try to read into everything. It could just be for no reason though. And I'm saying this for no reason. I mean, obviously we was on the cover of the Shonen Jump. So when we're on that, that's gotta be the cover. Kicking things off with the first page, a lot of information is told to us in a small amount of pictures. So basically, let me go ahead and wrap it up for you guys. Everyone from last chapter, I did not see specifically how this happened, but in this chapter, we look, everyone is trying to chime in with the Navy. Hey, what's going on? What's your status? Everyone's knocked out though. I'd say Vice Admiral and below, everyone is knocked out. The Seraphim are trying to wake them up like, hey, the Straw Hats are escaping. But what does that tell us? That tells us that going forward, the whole point of this whole arc is kind of like null and void now. When it comes to the Vice Admirals, it was supposed to, you know, have them jump in, make them look strong, make them be a force. But now, since they all got knocked out by Joy Boys Hockey, which I didn't know from last chapter, so they're not even strong-willed enough to handle Joy Boys Hockey. So that means going forward, if Luffy has like another training arc or gets even like close to being as strong as Joy Boy, then just going forward on the battles to come, it's just gonna be, you gotta be Admiral strengthen up in order to handle the Straw Hats, honestly, or at least like the big three. In order to handle the big three, you gotta be Admiral and up. And now, I mean, after this arc, they brought how many Vice Admirals? And I mean, look at them now, you know? If I'm gonna be honest with you, this was one of the first arcs where I feel like, even though we had literally 5 members of the Gorosei, like, you know, here, I didn't feel like the Straw Hats were in as much danger of death as they were in other arcs. I mean, of course, coming from Wano, I mean, Luffy literally got imprisoned. He died twice, you know what I mean? But like in other arcs, I feel like there was just more danger. And this isn't like, you know, any kind of, you know, salt or spice over to the Gorosei. It just feels like, I don't know, you know? I guess Gear 5th really does, it's really a game changer. Literally, it's a game changer. We got another confirmation on the second page. While this may hurt for some people for this to be told to them, but Joy Boy, of course, is stronger than Shanks. So that means that Joy Boy is on a whole different level than where Luffy currently is. Now, what does that mean, and how can Luffy attain that in order to box these Gorosei? Because that's exactly what we need. What does Joy Boy have that Luffy doesn't? We need that super advanced hockey, whatever's going on. We need the Wi-Fi hockey from Shanks. We need everything, bro. Genuinely, we need everything. We need as much as we can get. So we have Luffy and the Giants saying thank you to the Iron Giant while they don't know that Saturn is right in front of it. This thing might get demolished or, you know, taken in for research. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, Emeth is done for, quite literally. And we get the confirmation that we're headed to Elbaf. Absolutely, Luffy de-transforms, gets all saggy and old. We're headed to Elbaf. Luffy and Shanks are about to reunite after all this time. But let's be honest, y'all think there's gonna be a fight? And if there is one, who's gonna win? I know my friends would say that Shanks is gonna lose to Luffy, but let's be honest, nah, bro, nah. So I feel like now going forward, this is gonna be where everyone takes the time to actually, you know, break down what happened and, you know, actually, you know, feel the emotions of this arc that just happened. Because, you know, a lot of people died, you know, let's be honest, a lot of people died. A lot of Vegapunks died, you know, but now it's time for celebration for victory. I mean, what did the Straw Hats really get out of this arc? Like, what did they win? What would the victory be? I mean, Bonnie succeeded in her goal. They have a Vegapunk with them. Yeah, that's a win. That's a win. What if she joins the crew? And then once again, RIP, the original Vegapunk. We get a flashback. Wait a minute, what? So 2 weeks prior to this whole arc, Vegapunk already knew that it was York that was gonna betray him. Wait, where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? So basically, we go to a week after that, still a week before the present, and Vegapunk is literally in real time, showing us what he was doing at the time of when certain things was happening. Like currently, a week before Egghead, that is when Lugia got wiped off of the map. And this is all the things that he decided to do. So I'm guessing this is the reasoning for his recording. Like he found out that he's gonna die. So he wanted to make sure that he had information to tell everybody, before that happened. So I guess figuring out that York was betraying him, since that is his greed personified, what he said, which was like a terrible thing to do. Bad idea, Vegapunk. God, man. I'm just glad that he noticed all of this and Egghead went the way that it went in terms of information. Do I want Vegapunk to still be alive? Absolutely. I feel like there's still a role that he can play. But at the same time, in terms of the story, maybe it's better for someone with all that information to maybe, either not be in the picture or, don't have to be dead, but not in the picture. You know what I mean? Oh, and he didn't know that York was going to betray him because he had his memories wiped. So he basically did his entire plan to ensure to mitigate as much damage of what was to come as possible. And then he erased his memory so that no one would know. God, Vegapunk is so now they missed 2 weeks worth of information. They lost 2 weeks worth of memories. And now I get why 1123 is called the Void Fortnite. Something still doesn't sit right with me because on one panel, Shaka was asking the original Vegapunk, OG, he was asking him, what does death really mean for us? And then they panned over to the giant Vegapunk brain. So once again, it's a weird thing of, yeah, like the body might be dead, but the brain is still alive. So what does it really mean for Vegapunk to die? I mean, he left his brain, just to be there. But what does it really mean for Vegapunk to die? And is there a way for him to come back? Like, can he just plop his brain, grab one of them connectors and put it in another body? Yeah, no, all right. And Vegapunk told Sanji specifically that he wants the Straw Hats to be the ones who find the One Piece. And the chapter ends there with the celebration of the end of the Egghead arc beginning with the giants, Usopp at the helm. Man, this was a good one, y'all. This was a good one. But I feel like this is just the beginning. This chapter was like damn near a recap, kind of. If we're gonna be like a little honest with ourselves, it was kind of like a recap. But at the same time, I understand. This just adds more points on the Vegapunk. He knew everything that was gonna happen before it happened, so he put himself in a situation to where he would be able to mitigate the most amount of damage as possible. And then he wiped his memory. Like he found out 2 weeks before everything. He found out everything that was gonna happen. And if this was the outcome, if this was the mitigation of the damage, Vegapunk, you did a good job, bro. You did a good job. It just sucks that bro, literally every other Vegapunk except for Lilith and York died. That sucks, bro. That sucks. Let me know what you guys think about this here chapter. Go ahead and click that button down below. And I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next chapter. No breaks, so I'll see y'all next week with another W chapter.